All right, fam. Greetings, fam. Shalom, shalom to all my brothers and sisters out there. Shalom. In the other many ways to say hello or peace to you. All right, the Most High increase you all. All right, fam. So you see the title of this. All right, I'm not gonna, get straight into it. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, Paul's writings are hard to understand," and this and that. And to be honest, when I was a messianic, I never had problems understanding Paul's writings at all. All right. But now that I'm going back to fact check some things Paul said, we got some problems, fam. We got some serious problems. All right. So I'm gonna get straight into it, fam. As you see, the title of the video is Apostle Paul caught lying, undeniable proof. All right, fam. When I say undeniable proof, I mean undeniable proof. Unless you just one of those people who are in denial and just stay in denial, right? Whenever facts are presented, you just one of the people who say, nah, I don't want to believe that or whatever. Nothing I can do if that's you. This is for those who have an ear to hear, all right, and eyes to see, all right, and a mind to understand. All right, so without further ado, fam, I'm gonna get straight into it because I gotta try to keep this short so I can get it up. I can get it up. StreamYard is on some funny business, so I gotta keep this under an hour if I can. So, without further ado, fam, let me get straight into it. Yes, Apostle Paul has been caught lying, and the title of this video, as you can see, Apostle Paul caught teaching lies, and the topic we're gonna go over is who is the true promised seed of Abraham. And what about the law? Now, what about the law might be covered in part two, because it's like I said, I gotta keep it short. So for part one, we're just gonna go over who is the true promised seed of Abraham. All right, why am I asking this question? Why am I asking this question, and what does it have to do with Paul? All right, Apostle Paul said, all right, so what Apostle Paul said in Galatians chapter 3. All right, we're gonna go over it real quick. I'm gonna read this whole section. That way nobody says I'm cherry picking. All right, I'm gonna start with verse 1 real quick, and then the highlighted verse is what we're gonna focus on. All right, but it says Galatians. This is Galatians 3, chapter 1. I'm sorry, Galatians chapter 3, verse 1. O foolish Galatians, who has bewitched you that you should not obey the truth, before whose eyes Yeshua, Hamashiach, Yahushua, Hamashiach, Jesus Christ, Yahusha, Hamashiach, whatever you call him, has been evidently set forth, crucified among you. This only would I learn of you. Received you the Spirit by the works of the law, or by the hearing of the faith? Are you so foolish, having begun in the Spirit? Are you now made perfect by the flesh? Have you suffered so many things in vain, if it be yet in vain? He, therefore, that ministers to you the Spirit and works miracles among you, does he it by the works of the law, or by the hearing of faith? Even as Abraham believed God, and it was accounted to him for righteousness. Know you therefore that they which are of faith, the same are the children of Abraham. This is lightweight problematic. All right. And the scripture, foreseeing that the Most High would justify the heathen through faith, preached before the gospel unto Abraham, saying, in thee shall all nations be blessed. All right, so he preached the gospel unto Abraham, saying, in thee shall all nations be blessed. Now that is the gospel, according to Paul, right? That all nations shall be blessed. All right, it's problematic, but let's continue because that's not the point. All right, verse 9. So then they which be of faith are blessed with faithful Abraham. For as many as are of the works of the law are under the curse. For it is written, cursed is everyone that continueth not in all things which are written in the book of the law to do them. But that no man is justified by the law in the sight of the Most High. It is evident, for the just shall live by faith. And the law is not of faith, but the man that does them shall live in them. All right, now we get into it. Christ, Hamashiach, has redeemed us from the law, from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. For it is written, Cursed is everyone that hangs on a tree, that the blessing of Abraham might come on the Gentiles through Yeshua Hamashiach, Yahushua Hamashiach, that we might receive the promise of the Spirit through faith. Okay, once again, he's saying that the blessings, that this is the gospel pretty much, that the blessings of Abraham might come onto the Gentiles. This is the gospel according to Paul. All right, let's continue though, because that's not the topic. All right, verse 15, brethren, I speak after the manner of men, though it be but a man's covenant, yet if it be confirmed, no man disannulleth or adds thereto. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not, and to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Christ. Now, this is what we're going to focus on, right? So let's read that again. Verse 16, he said, and now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. So he's saying that this seed here is singular, right? As he explains, he saith, and not to seeds, plural, basically, as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Christ. So he's saying that the promises were made unto Christ, and that is not made unto seeds, plural. So he's saying that this word seeds is singular. This word seed here is singular. All right, and we're going to fact check this. This is what we're going to fact check. All right, who were the promises made to? And was it made to a seed singular, or is it this word seed plural? We're going to fact check. We're going to go deep in onto this and find out if Paul is lying about this or not. All right, fam, verse 17, I'm going to finish it off. Verse 17 through 19. And this I say, that the covenant that was confirmed before the Most High in Christ, the law, which was 430 years after, cannot disannul it, that it should make the promises of none effect. For if the inheritance be of the law, it is no more of promise, but the Most High gave it to Abraham by promise. Wherefore then serveth the law. It was added because of transgressions, till the seed should come to whom the promise was made, and it was ordained by angels in the hand of a mediator. Okay, so we're going to look at this, fam. Once again, we're going to go back. I'm going to go back to it. Verse 16 is the focus. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not, and to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Christ. So we're going to break down this word seed and find out exactly Paul knows what he's talking about. But first, we have to know, what exactly did the Most High promise to Abraham? Let's look at the promise, because a lot of people don't know what the promise is, and that's a problem. If you don't know what the promise was that was made to Abraham, that Paul is talking about here, right? Because he keeps pointing out to the Gentiles, oh, it was about the Gentiles, and I would have to disagree. All right, that the Gentiles would be blessed. Let's slow down there for a second. All right, let's go. All right, so this is Genesis. Sorry about that, fam. My computer's slowed up. This is Genesis chapter 15. All right, where the Most High makes his promise to Abraham. Let's read it and see what he says to Abraham. And after these things, the word of the Most High came to Abram in a vision. Abram was Abraham's name before it was changed to Abraham. So, all right, saying, fear not, Abram, I shield thee. Thy reward shall be very great. And Abraham said, Master and Most High, what wilt thou give me, whereas I am departing without a child? But the son of Mesech, my homeborn female slave, this Eleazar of Damascus, is mine heir. And Abraham said, I am grieved, since thou hast given me no seed, but my homeborn servant shall succeed me. And immediately there was a voice of the Most High to him, saying, this shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come out of thee shall be thine heir. And he brought him out and said to him, look up now to heaven and count the stars, if thou shalt be able to number them fully. And he said, thus shall thy seed be. And Abraham believed the Most High, and it was counted to him for righteousness. Now let's look at this highlighted part. The Most High said to him, look up now to heaven and count the stars, stars plural. If thou shalt be able to number them fully. And he said, thus shall thy seed be. In other words, go out and count and number the stars. If you can number all the stars, then your seed shall be numbered. But if you can't number the stars, your seed is going to be innumerous, innumerable. All right. No one's going to be able to count them. That sounds plural to me. Go out and count. We're talking numbers. The stars, if thou shalt be able to number them fully. And he said, thus shalt thy seed be. Ain't nobody counting the numbers of stars. So we're talking plurality here. We're talking quantity. This is not singular. What is Paul talking about? What is Paul talking about? We're going to keep going in deep, fam. All right. We're going to keep going in deep. All right. And it said, and Abram believed the Most High, and it was counted to him for righteousness. All right. Let's continue. And he said to him, I am the Most High that brought thee out of the land of the Chaldeans, so as to give thee this land to inherit. And he said, Master and Most High, how shall I know that I shall inherit it? And he said to him, take from me a heifer in her 3rd year, and a she-goat in her 3rd year, and a ram in his 3rd year, and a dove and a pigeon. So he took to him all these and divided them in the midst and set them opposite to each other. But the birds he did not divide. And the birds came down upon the bodies, even upon the divided parts of them. And Abram sat down by them. And about sunset, a trance fell upon Abram, and lo, a great gloomy terror falls upon him. And it was said to Abram, thou shalt surely know that thy seed shall be a sojourner in a land not their own. And they shall enslave them, and afflict them, and humble them 400 years. And the nation whomsoever they shall serve, I will judge. And after this, they shall come forth hither with much property. But thou shalt depart to thy fathers in peace, nourished in a good old age. Now let's look back at what's highlighted, fam. He said, thou shalt surely know that thy seed, there's that word seed again, looking singular according to Paul, right? Thou shalt surely know that thy seed shall be a sojourner in a land not their, plural, own. Paul, what is you talking about? This is singular. When the Most High just said that his seed is going to sojourn in a land not their, plural, own. Not their own land. And they shall enslave them, plural, and afflict them, plural, and humble them, plural, 400 years. And the nation whomsoever they, plural, shall serve, I will judge. And after this, they, plural, shall come forth hither with much property. This is Abraham's seed, singular, according to Paul, being referred to they as plural. What is Paul talking about? When did Hamashiach, being the seed, singular, go and sojourn in a land not his own and be enslaved by them and afflicted and humble for 400 years if he is the seed, singular? Where did all this happen with Hamashiach, Yahushua, Yehoshua, Yahusha, Yeshua, Yeshaya, Yesiah, whatever name, y'all? When did this happen with Jesus? When was he afflicted for 400 years and served in the land not his own? He never was. So this whole seed thing right now is getting busted wide open because Paul is lying. But let's continue. This is very simple to understand, fam, unless it has been over spiritualized to push a lie. Because when you read it straight for what it says in context, you see it. But when it's spiritualized to push a lie, now the door's open for all kinds of interpretations and everything. Now this thing can be interpreted by whoever, however, and they can start pushing all the kinds of different doctrines. All right, but let's continue, fam, because like I said, I got a time limit. I'm trying to get this done. All right, verse 16. And in the fourth generation they shall return hither, for the sins of the Amorites are not yet fulfilled. In the fourth generation, they, plural, shall return hither, for the sins of the Amorites are not yet filled up, even until now. And when the sun was about to set, there was a flame, and behold, a smoking furnace and lamps of fire, which passed between these divided parts. In that day, the Most High made a covenant with Abram, saying, to thy seed I will give this land. There's the promise. To thy seed I will give this land. That's why it's called the promised land. To thy seed I will give this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river Euphrates. Keep this in mind, because we're going to hear this again. The Kenites, the Kenizzites, and the Kenmonians, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Rephaim, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Evites, and the Girgashites, and the Jebusites. All right. And for those I forgot to tell earlier, I'm reading from what's called the Brenton Greek Septuagint. So if it doesn't match up directly with what you're reading, maybe you guys are reading from the KJV. The reason I read from the Brenton Greek Septuagint is it goes back to 250 BC, to the time period when Israel came out of Babylon. Babylon was conquered by when the Persians were ruling after they conquered Babylon, freed the Israelites. Then you had King Alexander come take over the Persians, right? And then what happened was the Israelites started mixing with the Greeks, and the Israelite scriptures, the Hebrew scriptures, got translated into Greek. This is the oldest, most accurate, and this is just the English version. The Greek Septuagint is actually what's the oldest and most accurate version of the scriptures we got. But this right here is the English version of that Greek translation. So this goes back way further than the KJV, the Masoretic text, and all that. That's why I read from it. But this will line up with your KJV fairly closely. All right. So now that we heard about this seed, right? Thy seed is going to do this. Thy seed is going to be in a land, and they, we hear the plurality in it, even just number the stars. So shall thy seed be. We're talking quantity, but Paul somehow, the Pharisee of Pharisees, thinks this is singular. I have no idea. So we're going to look into the Hebrew word for seed and see if we can get a clearer understanding. So give me a sec real quick so I can pull this up for you guys, and we're going to get straight into it. All right, because y'all know me, I don't play games. I do my research. I'm not falling for no BS. I do my research. All right. I do extensive research on this. No one's playing me for the fool. All right. It's not just because it's written in the Bible that I'm just going to believe it, especially the New Testament. Everything must be fact checked. Everything. People think, oh, it's written in there, so that's why. Nah, it has to be fact checked. And that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to go into the Strongs. I'm at BibleHub.com. You guys can put in BibleHub.com. All right. And this will bring you here. And this is how you can study and check the Hebrew. So I got Genesis 15:5 pulled up. All right. You can go here and edit that and put in what you're looking for. So Genesis 15:5. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Strongs. All right. We're going to go to the Strongs, and we're going to hit the Strongs. And then after that, we're going to go to the Hebrew. All right. So it said, and the Most High took him. This is going into Genesis 15:5, where the word seed appears when the promise is made to Abraham. Right? It says, and the Most High took him outside and said, now look to the heavens and count the stars. All right, and count the stars. If you are able, all right, if you are able, then he declared, so shall your offspring. So if you are able to count the stars, so shall your offspring be. Your offspring. This word for offspring is what we've seen come up as seed in the scriptures in Genesis 15:5. This is what said seed, but now it says offspring, according to the Strongs. So we're going to look at this word, Strong's Hebrew 2233. All right, 2233. We're going to look at this word. We're going to look at this word more closely, and then we're going to go back into the scriptures because this word seed came up quite a bit in Genesis 15. So we're going to look at it. All right, so Strong's Hebrew 2233. Zerah. Zerah. What does this word mean? A sowing seed offspring, right? Now, let's look at how many times how it was translated. All right. Once it was translated as carnally, once as child, three times as children, already showing plurality. Descendant, three times. Descendants, plural, 105 times. So this word Zerah came up 105 times as descendants, plural. Descent once, family six times, more plurality, fertile once, grain three times, intercourse twice, line once, line shows plurality, nation once, nation shows plurality, offspring 38 times, which can show plurality, offspring's offspring came out once, origin once, posterity once, race once, which shows plurality, seed 48 times, which if anybody knows, the word seed can be plural itself. Just because it doesn't have an S on the end doesn't mean it can't be plural. Seed time once, seminal once, seminal four times, seminal once, son once, time once, and what you sow once. So, all right. So the majority of the word, this word Zerah, comes up majority of the time speaking plurality. We have 105 times as descendants. All right. 105 times as descendants. Family 6 times. All right. Offspring 38 times. All right. And seed, like I said, the word seed itself can be plural 48 times. So now what we're going to do, fam, is we're going to go look now at this, at the Hebrew, right? At the Hebrew. And we're going to see what it actually says in the Hebrew. All right. We're going to go back to the Hebrew and we're going to look at what it says in the Hebrew as we go through this. Starting here in Genesis 15:5. All right. It says, and we're going to look, now we're going to go through this chapter and look at the other situations when this word seed came up. All right, starting with Genesis 15:5. All right, so, and he brought him outside and said, look now toward the heaven and count the stars, if you are able to number them. And he said to him, so shall be your offspring. Right, we already talked about counting the stars is talking quantity. And he says, so shall be your offspring, talking quantity. Right? Now let's skip ahead to where else it's used. We're going to go to Genesis 15, verse, we're going to go start at 13. All right. Genesis 15:13. Right? Now let's look what we said. And he said to Abram, surely know that that strangers will be your descendants. Your descendants. Same word, Zerah. Said Zerah ka, your, ka meaning your descendants. Zerah, your descendants. Am I lying? No, I'm not lying. Let's go back here just real quick. I'm gonna try to be as quick as it will take a little bit of time to do that. So let me see. Do I have it pulled up here? I think I do right here. Here we go. All right. So we're gonna go through that real quick. Let's look at Genesis 13, verse 13 here. Sorry if it's small for some of you. Right here. All right. Look at what it said in the English. And it was said to Abram, thou shalt surely know that thy seed shall be a sojourner in a land not their, plural, own. Same word. Look what comes up here, seed. But what do we see here in the Strongs? Your descendants, plural. But Paul wants to say this is singular. No, sir. I'm sorry, Mr. Pharisee of Pharisees. You don't know Hebrew all of a sudden? You don't know how to interpret the Hebrew scriptures all of a sudden? The word Zerah all of a sudden is now singular, but it's talking plural here. Come on now. All right. Strangers will be your descendants in a land not their own, not theirs, plural, and will serve them and afflict them 400 years. Hamashiach, Yahushai, Yeshua, Jesus Christ was not afflicted 400 years, fam. He was not. He does not fit this. The promise was not the promise made. But let's continue because I want to look at the other ones. All right, let's continue. All right, let's see. But the nation whom they serve will I judge, and afterward they shall come out with great possessions. I didn't see Yahushai going through no affliction for no 400 years, but all of a sudden this is about him. And as for you, you shall go to your fathers in peace. You shall be buried in a good old age. All right, let's see verse 16. But in the generation forth, they shall return, they, plural, here for not complete is the iniquity of the Amorites. Yet, here, continue, and it shall come to pass when the sun went down, and dark it was, that behold, there appeared a fire pot smoking and a torch burning that passed between the pieces of these. On that day made the Most High, come Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahuwah, all right, with Abram a covenant, saying, to your descendants I have given. Wait, what? To your descendants, plural? I have given, what's the word? Zara. Again, E22, Strong's 2233, the same word. Your descendants, plural. But it says seed in the scripture. What happened? It's supposed to be to your seed. Look at what he says. This is the promise. I have given land. I have given land, or this land, from the river of Egypt to the river great, the river Euphrates. This is the promise. All right, fam? And we're seeing it's made to a seed or descendants, plural. Plural. Not singular, plural. It's made to seed, Abraham's seed or descendants, plural. You can count Hamashiach, that's only one person. It's only one person, Hamashiach. And tell me this, right? If people say that Gentiles can be saved as well and can be a part of the body of Hamashiach, notice it said that Abraham's seed, right? And if you're saying you're a part of that seed in the body of Hamashiach, it said that Abraham's seed will serve 400 years in a land not their own. So tell me this. When did Gentiles serve with Israelites for 400 years? If they can now be counted as the seed, and it says that his seed is going to serve, when did Hamashiach serve? He never did. Oh, but now we're counting Gentiles as the seed too? When did they serve in a land for not their own for 400 years? Can you show us that? No, you can't. But somehow, I don't know what excuses y'all going to come up with, but I can't wait to hear them, because I'm sure they're going to have me laughing. But let's continue, because like I said, I'm on a time limit. All right, so now that we done broke down this word, fam, all right, now that we broke down this word, how much time? All right, got 30 minutes. I'm gonna try to keep it quick. All right, now that we done broke down this word, all right, we're gonna go back and we're gonna go look at some stuff in the scriptures again. All right, and we're gonna finish this off. All right, I'm gonna finish this off. But like I said, Paul's been caught so far, fam. This word seed is not singular, it's plural. It's plural. This promise was made to Abraham and his seed that he would give them, or I should say his descendants, that he would give them the land, right? So what is Paul talking about? That's the Hebrew word for you. Now we just looked into it, and Mr. Pharisee of Pharisees is showing he don't even know his own language. All right. So how did the Most High fulfill? I'm sorry. Did the Most High fulfill his promise to Abraham? All right. Did he fulfill his promise to Abraham? We're going to look at Genesis chapter 21. All right. And we're going to see what's said. All right. And then we're going to continue. And I'm going to try to get through this fast so I can put this up. All right. So it says, and Sarah, having seen the son of Agar, the Egyptian, who was born to Abram, sporting with Isaac, her son. Then she said to Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not inherit with my son Isaac. But the word appeared very hard before Abraham concerning his son. But the Most High said to Abraham, let it not be hard before thee concerning the child and concerning the bondwoman. In all things whatsoever Sarah shall say to thee, hear her voice. For in Isaac shall thy seed be called. All right, so in Isaac shall thy seed be called. And moreover, I will make the son of this bondwoman a great nation, because he is thy seed. Right? So, in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Once again, this word here for seed is descendants. You can look it up. You can track me along through all this. I've already gone through and checked all these words out to make sure nothing changed. Oh, this is descendants right here, Zerah. So, for in Isaac shall thy descendants, plural, be called. And that's exactly what you will see when you look in the Strongs. Go back to that website. If you doubt me, go back and check it out. Compare it. I've already done it. All right. So we said, for in Isaac shall thy descendants, plural, be called. Who came out of Isaac? Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. What do we get next, right? So Isaac begat Jacob, Genesis 25, 19 through 26. Go ahead, check that out. Isaac begat Jacob, right? Jacob's name was changed to what? Israel. So Jacob / Israel begat the 12 tribes or children of Israel. These are the descendants. You can read this in Genesis 29 through 35. All right, this is when Jacob begins to have his children. Everybody knows the story. Hopefully, everybody knows the story. All right, of what Jacob went through to have all these children. All right, in seeking Rachel, right, trying to marry Rachel. So that's that. So now we have Jacob, right? And notice the Most High said, what? In Isaac shall thy descendants be called. So in Isaac shall thy descendants be called. Isaac begat Jacob. So Jacob was called from Isaac. And Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, begat the 12 tribes of Israel. It's that simple. It's that simple. So now the descendants are called through Isaac in Jacob. All right. Or I should say in Isaac through Jacob, we have the 12 tribes. Descendants, plural. Now let's look at some things the Most High says during this time period. All right. Or, what's said in the scriptures during this time period. All right. This is Moses speaking here. All right. It says, hear, O Israel, thou goest this day across the Jordan to inherit great nations and greater and stronger than yourselves. So thou going across the Jordan to inherit nations greater and stronger than yourselves, cities great and walled up to heaven, a people great and many and tall, the sons of Enoch, whom thou knowest, and concerning whom thou hast heard say, who can stand before the children of Enoch? And thou shalt know today that the Most High, right, thy power, he shall go before thy face. He is a consuming fire. He shall destroy them, and he shall turn them back before, and shall destroy them quickly, as the Most High said to thee. Speak not in thine heart, right? Speak not in thine heart when the face of the Most High, all right, or when the Most High thy power has destroyed these nations before thy face, saying, for my righteousness the Most High brought me in to inherit this land. Not for thy righteousness, nor for the holiness of thy heart dost thou go in to inherit the land, but because of the wickedness of these nations does the Most High will destroy them from before thee, and that he may establish the covenant which the Most High swore to our fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. So now the Most High is trying to establish the covenant. What was the covenant? That he would give, that he would make Abraham's seed as numerous as the stars. I should say Abraham's descendants as numerous as the stars, right? And that he would do what? And he will give them specific land, right? From the great river of Egypt to Euphrates, right? The land of the Canaanites and all those other nations he listed. That was the promise. So you have the promised seed, which so far appears to be Israel, the 12 tribes, and the promised land that the Most High promised them. All right. So, and that he may establish the covenant which the Most High swore to our fathers, to Abraham and to Isaac and to Jacob. So the Most High is now giving these Israelites the land so that he can establish the covenant which he swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is the promise. I don't know what the hell Paul's focusing on, talking about the Gentiles. We not focused on no Gentiles. The Most High ain't focused on no Gentiles. What you talking about, Paul? Verse 27, remember Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. All right, so this is the same chapter, Deuteronomy 29. This is later on. Moses is praying. He's reminding the people that he had to pray for them, right? And this is what he told the Most High when he prayed for them. He said, remember Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thyself. Look not unto the hardness of the heart of this people, and their impieties, and their sins, lest the inhabitants of the land whence thou broughtest out speak, saying, because the Most High could not bring them into the land of which he spoke to them. When did he speak to them about this land? It's what he told Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob when he promised them the land. Who was the land supposed to go to? Abraham's seed. So this is clear as day, fam. This is clear as day. But he said, hey, let the inhabitants of the land whence thou broughtest out, saying, us out speak, saying, because the Most High could not bring them into the land which he spoke to them, and because he hated them, and he has brought them forth to slay them in the wilderness. And these are thy people and thy portion, whom thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt with thy great strength, and with thy mighty hand, and with thy high arm. All right, so Paul reminding, Moses reminding had to remind the Most High of the promise he made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob concerning his seed and the land he wants to give them. Now let's look at Joshua chapter 1. This is what it said in Joshua chapter 1. All right. Now after the death of Moses, the servant of the Most High, it came to pass that the Most High spoke unto Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses' minister, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, thou and all this people, unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel, every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that I have given unto you, as I said unto Moses. This is the Most High giving them the land. Everybody knows now Joshua went out with the armies, and what they do, they took over these nations and they took the land. That's what happened. All right. So the Most High is now, he's bringing that promise to pass. He's fulfilling his word to who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, about Abraham's descendants being as numerous as the stars, and him giving them the land. That's the promise. That's the promise, fam. That's the promise. All right, from the wilderness. Now, remember, I told you to remember the place, right? From the wilderness and this Lebanon, even unto the great river, the river Euphrates, and all the land of the Hittites, and onto the great sea towards the going down of the sun shall be your coast. This is the promise. This is the promise. And it's the promised land. I don't know what Paul over here bringing in Gentiles into it. Paul tripping, talking about this is singular, but the Most High, we read the promise. We read it. And we broke it down. It's very clear as day. Verse 5, there shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. As I was with Moses, so will I be with thee, and I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Be strong and of good courage, for unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land which I swear unto their fathers to give them. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So the Most High told Abraham, hey, your seed is going to be numerous, and I'm going to give them land. And you're telling me that land was singular, or the seed was singular, but we see a fulfillment of this right here? Paul's lying, fam. He lying. He don't know. The Mr. Pharisees of Pharisees. Oh man. Oh man, this is it, fam. There's not much more I can say. But he's lying. The New Testament full of lies, and they're being exposed. All right, fam. So next we're going to go to 2 Kings in your KJV, chapter 19. If you're reading from the Brenton Greek Septuagint, it's going to be 4 Kings, chapter 19. All right. It says, verse 22, but Hazael, king of Syria, oppressed Israel all the days of Jehoahaz, and the Most High was gracious unto them, and had compassion on them, and had respect unto them, because of his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and would not destroy them, neither cast them from his presence as yet. So the covenant was with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It didn't say the covenant was with Christ, Hamashiach. It didn't say none of that. It said because of his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and would not destroy them, neither cast he them from his presence yet, as yet. So, So the Most High was trying to keep his word to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob concerning his descendants / seed, that they would be numerous as the stars and be in the land. So I'm telling you, fam, this is the Most High. Hey, he said what he said concerning Abraham's descendants. Jeremiah 33. All right, Jeremiah 33. All right, we're going to look at Jeremiah 33 real quick. All right, verse 25. It says, thus saith the Most High, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob. What? And David, my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed, speaking of David's seed, to be rulers over the seed of Abraham. Wait. Seed singular or seed plural? Because how can, what? If seed is singular and that's Hamashiach, so you're telling me that David's seed is going to rule over what? That don't make sense. Let's read that again. Then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. For I will cause their captivity to return and have mercy on them, plural. So fam, in all this, we already see that the Most High was talking plurality considering Abraham's seed. We've seen it. He talked about numbering the stars and saying that if you can number the stars, then Abraham's seed would be numbered. That's plurality. It ain't talking nothing singular. The word seed, Zerah, ends up coming up as descendants in these key places where we see the word seed appear concerning Abraham. Descendants, plural. But somebody's going to say, oh, you're being a Pharisee and this, and that, because I'm going back to the Hebrew. They love the name call when you start going back to the Hebrew and showing the truth. But I ain't falling for it, fam. It is what it is. Some people will not receive it because they're so fearful of losing their salvation that they will continue in a pagan belief that talks about the drinking, mock blood drinking rituals. All right. They will continue in something that speaks about mock blood drinking rituals, talking about Here, this represents my blood. Drink it. The blood which is shed. Drink it. Wait. The Most High said, don't eat flesh with blood in it, because the blood contains a life. And now you're telling us to drink wine that symbolizes your blood? What? To drink something that symbolizes your blood? That's a mock blood drinking ritual. And then to eat flesh, that's a mock cannibalistic ritual. You know who gave this to us? You know what they be doing, those who gave it to us? They be eating flesh, real flesh. They be cannibals out there. And they be drinking blood. You see it on TV. Y'all know what's up. I don't got to explain. I know some of y'all already hit to it. You're in a pagan belief with human sacrifice, which is pagan, because the Most High said that that's an abomination unto him, right? Mock blood drinking rituals, which is pagan. Mock cannibalism, which is pagan. All right? And the many other things that are pagan inside the New Testament, which a lot of people just don't want to come to terms with because they're so fearful that they're going to lose their salvation if they let it go. But I'll tell you this, fam, there is no fear of losing salvation when you're seeking truth. And if you have the mindset that says, if I see something wrong with this New Testament, I will drop it, you're in a good place. But if you're in a mindset that no matter what I see, even if somebody shows me something that could be wrong with the New Testament, I'm still going to hold on to it, then you are officially brainwashed to a maximum capacity. Straight up. I'm going to say it like that. All right? So, fam, it's time to use your brains. Everything I just went over with Paul and this whole seed. Oh, it says the seed. He got you with the English language. That's why it's written in English. They're messing with you through the English language. That's why you got to go back to the Hebrew and study. Because now that Hebrew just exposed that Paul was lying. How many of you are going to concede and say, damn, Paul was lying? Now, there's many other things that are wrong with the New Testament. I have other videos on my channel. Check it out on YouTube, The Way Everlasting. Go subscribe. I got part 2 that's going to be coming out dealing with this whole little law situation, but that was not the focus for today. All right, because this one right here is very obvious. But there's going to be some people out there who will not accept it because they're so caught up in that fear of losing salvation, or they sent from the enemy to teach you that this is what I'm saying is wrong, even though the proof is right there in the language. The proof is right there in the context of what's said in Genesis 15 and all throughout the scriptures I brought out. The proof is there. The promise was that Abraham's seed would be as numerous as the stars, that they would get land, specific land, which we've seen that in the scriptures that I brought out. But somehow people are going to argue against it. Hey, and for some of those people, I don't know what, there's not much more I can tell you. You've been brainwashed to a maximum capacity. You're fearful, you're prideful, and you're going to find some excuse. There ain't nothing I can do. I already brought out the truth. You can either accept it or reject it. That's on you. But all I can say is if you continue in a pagan belief, talking about mock blood drinking rituals, mock cannibalism, human sacrifice, you're an abomination to the Most High. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. I got to keep it 100 with you. I can't sugarcoat that. I'm sorry. So for those who have an ear to hear, you're going to see. But for those who don't, you're going to be caught in that deception, that illusion. All right, that delusion. All right, that strong delusion. You're just going to stay caught in it. And I don't know what to tell you. All right, so for those who had an ear to hear and listen and understand and to see, thank you for tuning in. I hope that this was a blessing to you. I hope that this helps pull you out of false doctrine. All right, I pray the Most High continues to increase you in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that he increases you in all your ways. All right, and until part 2, fam, hey, the Most High be with you, be increased, and I will see you on the next one. And I did this with 10 minutes to spare, so it's perfect. So it will be up. It will be up soon. All right, fam. So take care. Share this. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this. Let this word get out that Paul been caught lying. He's lying, and there's many more lies to expose, fam. All right. So take care. Until next time. Peace. Shalom. The Most High be with you all in all things that you do.